What is this SSB all about?
SSB comprises of 3 people who try to assess a potential candidate on 15 officer-like qualities.
Something may happen to their life if they join defense forces.
There is a 25% more probability that you will die in a road accident than in the defense. I would like to put in a simple gist is that here I am helping students to become smart and leverage the market for the skills which are relevant. At the same time, giving them a gist of the limitations.
Tell me, is it easy to make an AI agent?
Yes, it is.
So does it require coding skills?
No, not at all.
So what is that is required?
So that is exactly what I'm trying to say, is that, the democratization has happened wherein you can onboard to this particular field with the entry barrier is pretty less. But of course, there is a bit of technical skills which you have to understand,
Hi Agnel.
Hello.
So you have done a GTO course. So can you tell us what is this SSB all about?
Okay, Julie. So this is a very common question, and of course a question which has a lot of innuendos, but I'll try to answer it in the most simplest form. So the SSB comprises of 3 people who try to assess a potential candidate on 15 officer-like qualities. So what happens is that a group of students are brought in and they are put through different stages of group development. And as they go through those different stages, an interviewing officer, a psychologist, and a GTO, these 3 assess you for different qualities which are broadly based under social qualities, intelligence, your ability to withstand mental and physical pressure, and other qualities which are related to mental robustness. Or in a gist, it is about checking your leadership qualities, whether you are fit to lead a group of people in the Indian Army.
Okay. So these OLQs which you just mentioned, 15 OLQs, are these inherent or can this be acquired?
Very good question.
Because many of them say, they don't clear in the first attempt, they make subsequent attempts and they are able to make it. So what are these qualities? Can they be acquired?
I would just put it in a simple word that you are a product of your circumstances and your experiences. So these 15 officer-like qualities are normal qualities which are expected to be in a well-rounded person. But what happens is, there are some people who, despite having those qualities under, say, the pressure of testing or the pressure of in a group of people, they are not able to perform that optimally. So yes, as far as that aspect is concerned, well, you could be trained for it to be more normal, more natural. But as far as those qualities are concerned, say if you are inherently not a courageous person because of some experience of your life, well, that can't actually be put in. So yes, to some extent, as long as that quality is inherent in you, training can help you bring it out.
Okay.
But the majority of the qualities, which is present in most of them, But if it is not at all present because of your experiences, well, there is a problem there.
That is why they don't clear it despite many attempts, because
True.
they don't have it in them probably.
Yes, that is true to an extent.
Okay. So, Agnel, tell me another thing. I've seen that most of the aspirants for defense are primarily in North India. There aren't very many in South India, and especially in Kerala, where you are,
Yes.
where you are trying to you are working with students, if I'm correct,
Yes.
on their career selection and their progression. That's what primarily you are focusing on in Kerala.
True.
Why do you think in Kerala people are not very keen on joining the defense, although it is highly respected all over India?
So, Julie, you can say history has a part in it, because you see the northern part of India has been home to a lot of invasions. So there are people who have valued valor, courage, and things of that sort. And, maybe fighting is considered to be a profession of honor. As far as South is concerned, and especially Kerala, it is basically a place which has been a trading hub with a lot of connections with the Middle East and other countries. You see the oldest church or the oldest mosque. It is there in Kerala. So there is a aspect of history to it. Also, the Malayali person has traditionally been a person who has migrated to different countries. And, just to give you a perspective, out of $118 billion of foreign remittance, Kerala accounts for almost $24 billion, right? $1 billion. So what happens is that sets a culture. Now, when you value everything with money, the Malayali, perhaps, I'm not very sure, but to whatever little exposure that I have had, he has not been able to associate the money value of a good life. For example, what is the cost of a flat in Kaban Park? What is the cost of the membership of a RSI in Bangalore? What is the cost of the quality of life of a good cantonment? What is the cost of the sports facilities? So these are things which you have not factored in.
Correct.
And this is apart from your salary, and also a pension that is for a lifetime, and also medical facilities and other attributes which no health insurance can match. What is the cost equivalent of that? You've not factored in that. So perhaps these things have not been factored in.
But I have seen in Kerala, most of them prefer government job. It's not that they have any aversion to government job. They like government job. So this is also a government job. Is it because they fear that something may happen to their life if they join defense forces? Is that a concern which is there?
Well, if you are talking of the statistics, the Kerala Migration Survey does put government jobs at a very high priority in the Kerala society, especially the civil services, the IAS and all. But because of some reason, unknown reason, I'm not an expert because I've just been there for a short period of time. They tend to look at defense in a different perspective. Maybe a reason is what you are talking about. But if you are talking of that particular reason, say I would just compare the statistics of road accidents to the number of casualties which have taken place in the army. So I think I have the statistics of 2022 and maybe the army casualties of 2016. But whatever I have analyzed, there is a 25% more probability that you will die in a road accident than in the defense, right? So if you are a person who's more worried about, or if Kerala parents are more worried about their children becoming a casualty in the army, let me tell you, you should restrict your children from traveling on the road rather than joining the army, right? And apart from that, see, army is a very professional organization. There are battle drills, there are safety procedures which are adopted, right? And there is another aspect is that when a soldier is martyred, it is highlighted.
Yeah.
Whereas a road death,
it's not spoken about much. Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
So this has an aspect.
Yes.
But if you are comparing the army career with any career of the civil services, they're as good. Perhaps you would your superiors are as good or even better qualified.
Yeah.
And the quality of life professionally is far, far superior.
Far superior. So you are interacting with students in Kerala. You have visited various colleges and you've been speaking to them. What do you think is their mindset about, when they want to choose a career? What is that they have in mind? You are talking to them, they would have probably told you what it is. So can you just tell us what is their thinking all about?
Okay, Julie, so this is very interesting. So I interacted with students in Sacred Heart, St. Teresa's. These are two colleges I have interacted with the students. First is they want money, and which is normal because most of the students in today's world, they do want money because that is one elixir which everyone wants. But what is most striking about the students in Kerala is that they want somehow to migrate abroad. Right. Now, if you are talking of the dynamics of migration abroad, we are in a different scenario altogether today. There has been a lot of anti-immigration and son of the soil rant, because of which things are not as good. You have already seen that the H-1B visa, the criteria is $100,000.
Correct.
Right? So you are talking about a world which has changed so much that it caters only for people which have got exquisite skill sets, which have a premium. A premium, maybe I would say that, maybe it's worth $200,000 or even more, right? Then you can possibly think about that kind of a career. Otherwise, if you are talking about a career like the Middle East and other places, well, the quality of life is pretty poor. But what the students of Kerala somehow seem to believe is that perhaps the opportunities abroad are much, much more than what it is there inherently in Kerala. And of course, the Kerala Migration Survey and few other statistics point to that fact, because despite the very high quality of literacy and social index like health, etc., in Kerala has very high unemployment rate, and also you can say that there are some statistics which I can go into details, like, not in employment, education, etc., which are pretty high. So yes, those are the reasons for it.
And also maybe because there aren't enough industries which create job. If you look at it, most of the industries come in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Chennai they go to, or they prefer Maharashtra or Gujarat of late. But not Kerala is not able to attract industries and investment, except for some software which is there in a few states. Majorly, it is service driven.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But you also have to point or look at it in a different way. The Kerala society is a very, a very thinking society. You won't find a person who is actually pulling another man, which is very common in most of India.
Pulling, you mean to say crab mentality?
Not pulling. I mean to say like a man pulling other man, like a manual cycle rickshaw. You won't find it in Kerala. Why? Because the dignity of labor has been established because of the communist movement. So, not taking political parties, see, every evolution has its pluses and minuses. And yes, Kerala does need to work in this particular direction, right? Wherein you need to have policies which are actually favoring the establishment of industries and other kind of things. Yes, I agree with you that to some extent Kerala is behind in this particular field. But of late, like you talk of the Trivandrum Tech Park, the Info Park which is there in Kochi, and
I think it's in Kozhikode also. There is a software park there as well. Yes.
So I think that awakening is coming up. But what I'm trying to say is that the people in Kerala are extremely adaptable.
Okay.
And what I've, with my little interaction, what I've understood is that the students are very keen to learn all kinds of skills, especially the skills related to AI and other things.
Okay.
And if the students are onboarded and the government takes those policies, and the government is taking those policies, especially with respect to tech, I see that, Kerala has got a great future, although there are many challenges.
Okay. So now, Agnel, with the kind of exodus which is happening, we can see all over the world, people do not want Indians. They are restricting the dependency on immigrants, and they are trying to be self-reliant. Earlier, the market was open, but now it isn't. Even whether it's America, UK, Europe has also started, Australia, all countries are trying to, they do not want people to come there and work. They do not mind opening the universities for education purpose because they are earning revenue. But I have seen that they are not open to employing them because there is a concern that Indians are eating into their jobs. So I know very many people who have gone to UK, they have spent a lot of money studying abroad, but then they do not find a job and they come back to India. That also I have seen. So given these concerns, I think most of these youngsters, they are chasing a mirage. Until you are from the elite colleges, until and unless you are from a very elite college. America has also said that if you're from an elite college, yes, we'll absorb you. Otherwise, if you are not from one of the elite colleges, you don't have any much, at least going forward, there isn't a good future for these students. In such a situation, shouldn't our students be self-reliant? Because the entire world is gravitating towards AI.
True.
And it is high time that we understand this particular skill set and try to acquire it. So in your interaction with college students, how much of this syllabus has already been already part of the college curriculum or school curriculum? Is it there, or if it is not there, what do you think should happen in a very urgent manner? Because AI is developing very rapidly.
Very excellent question. So there are many aspects, many things which you have thrown into this particular question. Let me try to answer it whichever way I can. So the first aspect is that the job market is evolving very, very fast, right? And there is a premium which is being paid for people with high value skills, right? So it's not that in India there aren't good colleges, the IITs, the IIScs and all, they are fantastic. And the kind of quality of students that they are producing are great, right? Now, except for the niche area where research is being done, or there are special skills which are being or research, or there are new frontiers which are being explored, those kind of jobs would always be there, right?
Okay.
But that is only for a very small, minuscule percentage of people. But as far as the general mass is concerned, the AI revolution is going to take away all repetitive jobs. And you are already seeing that. All the big players, Amazon, Google, Meta, they are all gravitating in that particular direction. So what you are saying is correct, that AI has done a thing wherein the vast majority of the jobs which are routine would be taken away. Now what is the option left for the people who are entering the job market? So AI also has another part to it. It has a democratized technical education.
Correct.
Right. For example, today if you want to make an AI agent, there are a number of platforms. Like you can use N8N to make an AI agent, right? It doesn't take much skill. You do require some technical skills to understand, what is an API and things of that sort. But it is not so difficult as it was earlier, because, rather than going into computers, data structures, things of that sort, what AI has done is that there are many things which have been democratized, or you can onboard to that particular revolution in a relative easy manner, where many of the complexities are actually abstracted. You don't need to go into the details of it. They are already abstracted for you. So in that way, AI tools are very, very, very useful.
Even a non-science graduate can do it?
Exactly. That's exactly the point that I have been trying to propagate. You see, if you are a non-science graduate, there is a lot of creativity in you.
Correct.
Now, for example, if you are gravitating into the field of a product, see, everything is moving into what is known as product management, right? Everything is seen as a product. So, understanding whether there is a gap in the market, what kind of product will work, what is going to be the marketing campaign for it, the imagination which is going to be behind marketing of that particular product, what is the kind of money people are ready to pay, and so on and forth. Everything can be done using AI tools.
Correct.
Right? So these art students, these commerce students, they have to onboard to these AI tools and use those tools with their creativity to leverage the potential which is there in them.
Okay.
And it has great, great potential. Because the only thing what has happened is that the fail fast model, the concept is very simple. You take out an idea, you make the product, you market the product, and based on the feedback you modify or you pivot. The entire concept should be done very, very fast, say maybe in a couple of months. We are talking about products being launched and modified in a couple of months. That is what AI is talking about.
Correct.
So what we are talking about is a very high rate of evolution of products. A beautiful example of it is like the COVID vaccine, rather than the traditional 10 year. It was out in the market for I think 1.5 years. So that is the world that we are talking about, and everyone has to onboard to that. And as far as you spoke about the education abroad, foreign universities and things of that sort, that again is true. You should go to colleges and universities which have a very high level of skill sets in case you are planning to go in that particular direction. If not, then you should talk about a skill set which is rapidly evolving.
Okay.
And you should be ready for changing your skill sets and learning new things very fast, because though that age where you're talking about, where I have a stable job or, I have learned a skill set which is valid for, say, the next 30 years, that's no longer valid anymore.
So tell me, is the college curriculum adapted to this fast changing world?
No, unfortunately no. And it cannot also. I'll tell you the reason. The first reason is that a college professor, in Kerala at least, I'm not talking of other places, but generally it is valid everywhere else also, doesn't have the kind of salary which will incentivize that particular person to do research and be updated with the latest trends. Right. So you had ChatGPT coming in, I think 2023. That time ChatGPT was considered to be the number one. Now Gemini 3 has already taken over. Correct. Right? You have the entire Google's tools which are there, which are already, people are already, that's reflected in the share price, of Google. You can see that. So what happens is that things are evolving. And the rate at which evolution is taking place, as Elon Musk put it very clearly, that, college may be a social requirement. You are talking of self-study. You are talking of skills which have to be picked up on your own. Absolutely. Perhaps some kind of guidance can be given. But the idea is very simple. All the skills are available. It is fully democratized. Correct. But how you actually acquire those skills, how you use those skills, that is very, very important.
So now, since you are into career counseling for the students.
Not exactly career counseling, you can say career guidance, giving them a perspective ahead.
So since you are into it, how can you help them to step up or get future ready? Do you have any ideas in your mind?
Yes.
Can you handhold these students?
Well, that exactly is my that exactly is the effort in which, or the path in which I want to go. So what I want to, what is the value proposition is that the first thing is that I plan to give these students a perspective into the opportunities that is available right across the world.
Okay.
Right? Not just the government jobs like the traditional civil services, but also areas which Keralites have not traditionally explored or which do not have a lot of traction, like the defense services. Incidentally, the kind of opportunities which come in the defense services are the maximum as far as government services are concerned, say about 4,000, as compared to say maybe 1,000 in the civil services. What about the other areas? So if you are talking about, say, the corporate jobs, you are talking about an annual output of 8 million candidates looking for 2 million jobs.
Correct.
I carried out some kind of statistics, pulled out some data from LinkedIn and other kind of things, and try to come to some kind of, analysis as to what exactly is finding traction. So you have skills like LangChain, which is there, which is, those skills which are there or in a lot of demand. And that would be so for the next 5 years or maybe 10 years. Coding skills, as I said. But there are other skills like the skills which are related with the augmentation of AI tools like product management, where your creativity can be leveraged. Those are areas which I would like to guide the students on. There are other areas like for example, democratization of AI. Say maybe understanding the basics of a corporate job. Like, you start with the base of, say, project management, which is relevant in today's world as well, because it is the implementation aspect within a product. Then maybe a PMP, or maybe a product management, maybe a SAFe or an agile framework, or go into some kind of AI tools, or maybe specialized skills like using AI agents, or using some kind of customized problem-solving skills which are required in the corporate. So what I would like to put in a simple gist manner is that here I'm helping students to become smart.
Okay.
And leverage the market for the skills which are relevant. At the same time, giving them a gist of the limitations.
Okay.
Right? I just want to give them a limitation, because when you are talking of a career, you're talking of 30 years.
Yeah, correct.
And unfortunately now you are talking about a career span of say 5-7 years, within which things, the skills and everything may actually change. So that is where I think I bring in value to guide these students in the correct direction.
In fact, I've read somewhere that, very soon the workforces will have two type of resources to take care. One is the biological resource, which is humans, and the other is the agentic resource. That also requires management. So there will be biological and non-biological forces which require to be taken care of. So what I want to know is, since you mentioned about AI agents, and you also said that even a non-science graduate can learn, tell me, is it easy to make an AI agent?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
In fact, I have just made an AI agent with just about maybe about 15 hours of work.
Just 15 hours of work?
Just 15 hours of work.
So does it require coding skills?
No, not at all.
So what is that is required?
So that is exactly what I'm trying to say, is that, the democratization has happened wherein you can onboard to this particular field with the entry barrier is pretty less. But of course, there is a bit of technical skills which you have to understand, So I just made an AI agent, which you can perhaps show in the podcast. So here you can see the demo of my exercise agent, and here I'm executing the workflow. And as you can see that the workflow has been successfully executed. AI agent is like a digital employee.
Okay.
So if you are onboarded to a company, what exactly do you do? Your boss gives you some kind of work. You've got access to some resources, say maybe a database or things of that sort. You are using your head for the logic. And then using your head and the database that you have access to, you come up with some kind of intelligence, which is the kind of solution your boss is looking for.
Correct.
That is exactly what the AI agent does. So like I just made an AI agent. So what in brief it does is that, it picks up some data from your Google Calendar, right? Uses some kind of logic. And based on that particular logic, so what here has been done is that my Google Calendar talks about a exercise routine every day. So that particular exercise routine at say 6 o'clock in the morning acts as a trigger. So there is a trigger which is basically an entry in your Google Calendar that will trigger the AI agent into a workflow.
Okay.
So what it does is that when it sees that there is an exercise which is scheduled, it has a database of all the possible exercise routines which are there. And depending on the weather conditions, which it accesses through an API. API is basically nothing like, it is basically like a service which you access. So the weather API is perhaps an application whose services can be availed for paying some amount of money. So that the agent accesses that weather information, uses what is the information which is relevant, and gives the most optimal exercise pattern, suiting you based on the logic that you have given. And you get an email at 5 o'clock in the morning, well, this is your exercise routine, and you do it. Now, that is exactly what a digital employee does. Now, depending on the complexity, depending on the task, depending on your creativity, you can have access to say 10 APIs. Just the thing which would differ is the database, the memory context window, and the different kind of resources the agent has access to. So that is exactly what I'm trying to say.
So what I want to know is, you mentioned logic. You have to, in order to incorporate logic, do you have to be familiar with any arithmetic, maths, or any AI languages?
Well, it certainly helps. But here, the logic is nothing but prompt engineering. Right. So I have just given a prompt. To the chat GPT for the logic. So the programming languages as it evolves is basically the programming language will become English. But even in English, there has to be a kind of a logic to it. There is a logical flow, how you are explaining that things should work, right? So, and also the beauty is that the large language models, they can give you the prompts for it. If you paste the error which you are encountering, they will give you a correction for it. So what I'm trying to say is that
they will handhold you, and they will themselves navigate and help you get through it.
True.
So tell me something now. When you spoke about companies are looking for, and they are looking for people with high skill sets.
Yes, that's true.
So I don't think everybody will be able to compete in the job market. So in such a scenario, what do you say? Can they become self-reliant, do something on their own?
Yes, it depends on what is the level of motivation that you have. And for that, what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to be a extraordinary person in the field of AI. Like, I don't know whether you have read a book by Siddharth Mukherjee called The Emperor of All Maladies. If you see the research which has gone into cancer.
Correct, yes.
The earlier people who actually did the research in this particular field were not even doctors, right? How the cancer drugs actually evolved. They actually evolved from the printing press. They were the dyes which were used there, right? So it is about motivation. It is about how you want to evolve. And anyone can board onto this particular field. But of course, as I say, that when you are talking about very niche areas where there is a lot of research happening in that particular area, for formal training, engineering background, and other kind of things are required. But for the vast majority of the jobs, AI is a tool wherein the entire process has just been hastened, as I said. So where you are talking about a product being launched into the market and receiving correct, tweaks, maybe in a couple of years. Now you are talking about periods of maybe 3 months. So you are a person who should be using your creativity with these AI tools. That is exactly what I foresee.
Okay.
Is going to be the future of the job market.
Now, you said so, like, and everywhere it is there too, that AI is going to take most of the jobs. So I have seen increasing number of youth today, whether it's in Bangalore, whether it's in any other place. There are two things they are chasing. One is the food industry and second is the fashion industry. And fitness also. These three industries are evergreen industries because now with increasing with a less time which people have on them, they don't have time to cook. So, and they have to eat 3 or sometimes even 4 times a day. So, which is why the dependency on an external source is increasing. Which is why the food market and restaurant business is every day it is the demand is going high. So I have seen many youth, even if they are not well equipped, they have this enterprising desire in them, and they come and take on that business, say food or fashion. Fashion is again because everyone wants to look good. And the third is fitness. So I have seen that many of them get employed and gainfully employed. So here, how will AI help?
I'll try to answer this question. I do not know to what extent I will be correct. But you see, cooking is a process, right? Where I can say that perhaps 2 dimensions are involved. One is the time dimension and the different ingredients which are involved, right? So you put in different ingredients, see how your recipe is evolving. And of course, the finesse and the skill set is where, what quantity and what quality of ingredients you're using. So when you are talking about bringing something into the market, we are all talking about margins here, right? Business is about margins, right? So as far as a person who would like to onboard AI in the field of cooking or fitness and other kind of things, they can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they can do it. Because there would be aspects in which they can help. I mean to say, there would be, say, IoT devices wherein your refrigerator could be stacked up. There is a lot of research which is going in the direction of human robots which can actually help human beings in cooking and domestic chores. So yes, in that particular direction, it would be coming. See, as long as data is there for something, if you have a data point for something, if you have a data point for the procedure of making dal, AI 100% can do it, right? So yes, in the field of cooking, yes, it will come very soon. And you talk about fitness. If you go to a gym, the trainers, you would have muscular people helping you out. You are really impressed by those muscular people. But as far as the biochemistry or the physiology of the exercise, or what exactly goes in muscle development, or what is targeted, say, for example, you have got a paunch and they are basically looking to reduce that particular paunch. So those targeted exercise and the science and the medicine behind that particular exercise, that is an area again where AI can actually help. As far as fashion that you spoke about, that is an area which I would attribute to creativity, although AI can help.
AI can help a lot, in fact.
It can help.
It can come with plethora of designs options. And even like depending on your size, it can tell you whether this will suit or not.
But still, there is a lot of creativity scope for a human being. So yes, that is a perfect field for a very creative person.
Okay.
Where AI can come in a very big way. See, I think it is an area which it is perfectly balanced, and given India's strength in the field of textiles and other kind of things, I think this is an area which has got tremendous potential.
Yes. So what I have seen is that most of the youth, they want to be the last mile in all these three things, whether it is food, whether it is fashion or fitness. But there is so much money which is made by the intermediaries. So they do not target that value chain. They always go in the end because that is the easiest, and the quantity, the number of people required for last mile are very many. And they easily get to do it, but they don't realize that the money is in the in-betweens, and it is in this in-betweens when AI can actually help them.
Yeah.
So I also feel that if everyone knows about agentic AI and how powerfully they can use it to better their output, they will be able to enhance the productivity of whatever they are doing. Don't you think so?
Yes, certainly. So, the concept of business is, as I always spoke, as I told earlier, it's about margins.
Correct.
Right. So, also it is about what is the kind of value that you are adding to a particular product, and at what stage you are at this. Union Minister recently said that, remarked about we being a nation of delivery boys and things of that sort.
Correct.
Right. So let us just see industry like the chip industry, for example. Just see the chip industry. Now, NVIDIA makes the best chips in the world as of today, Blackwell chips, right? Now, it's not just the chips; it's also the CUDA, the ecosystem, which is used for programming those kind of chips. Now, what happens is, when you are having a skill which doesn't have competition, theoretically you can price it the way you want.
Yes.
Now, there are other companies like Google, Amazon, they are making their own custom or application specific chips. So, NVIDIA has the heat, is facing the heat. But again, application specific chips have their own shortcomings. They are specific for application. But the NVIDIA chips are just too good as far as GPUs are concerned, right? So when you are talking of a business, you are talking about an area where you are adding value, and what kind of value you are adding, and what is the competition which is available, which is there in the market. So that is exactly what I spoke about. It is about researching whether there is a gap in the market. What is the product that will fulfill that particular need? You do the market research using AI tools. You do the requirement or the requirement analysis of the particular product. What product would satisfy the requirements, which has the gap. And as long as you have addressed that is where you will have maximum margin. Unfortunately, that is an area that we have not gone in a big way. That is exactly what differentiates advanced economy from another economy. I mean to say, if you build, everyone has aluminium, everyone has steel, but if you can make an aircraft engine, that is where the margin is. Correct. If you can make an aircraft,
but now the thing is, presently the situation which youngsters are facing is, they are saying, we do know that we have to target the pain area, but most of them have already touched the pain area. Now there is no pain area left to be covered. This is their concern. This is when you are saying that the product which is to be launched, you have to analyze the gap.
Yes.
So the gap has been already assessed. I want to ask you is that with AI coming in, say day-to-day life, if, as I said, if a person doesn't want to take up a job but wants to be self-reliant.
Yes.
So in your experience, you've gone all around. Tell me, if you were to do something on your own, what is the gap that you see and you want to work on it and you want to, make it into a business?
Yeah, so that's a fantastic question. So that is exactly what you are talking of, an entrepreneurial skill. An entrepreneur basically looks at a market where the gap is, right? So I'm not an entrepreneur, so I can't possibly say that. But You see, where earlier you could see a gap in the market, but you do not know actually what is the statistics, what is the scale, what are the things which would help you reach that particular point, and what is the kind of product. The AI tools can help you in a very, very big manner. For example, today, if you want to do a market survey, you want to target a particular kind of audience in a particular geographical place, in a particular way, that data, there are AI tools for that.
No, that is data.
Right.
See, what I'm trying to, my question is simple. This one person wants to do something on his own. Now, there is data, there is something known as what he perceives. And perception is, and what he perceives is based on experience. You go somewhere and he sees there is a pain area. He is not able to quantify it, of course. That's whether you are saying AI tool comes in. He's not able to quantify. That is his handicap. He's not able. But he knows there is a pain area. Now he wants to fill that gap. As you said, you should know the pain area and try to fill the gap. He wants to fill the gap. Now you tell me, how will he fill the gap? How is he going to fill the gap?
Yes. So suppose, so that's what I'm trying to say, Julie. Say you found a gap. Now you want to launch a product. You also want to know what is the economics behind that particular product, right? So if there is a product for 100 rupees, so there is economics behind that 100 rupees, and where that 100 rupees is going to different people who have participated in manufacturing or launching that particular product. You know, how the profits are actually distributed. So it is not just essential to find the gap. You also have to go into the dynamics of it to understand what is the scale. It is not just the price that someone is willing to pay. It is the kind of features that that particular product requires. What is the scale which is available? If I make such a product, what would be the demand for that particular project, for that particular product? All these things have to come up, right?
Yeah.
All right. So understanding the pain point itself is not enough. You also have to understand what is the entire logistics behind that product being launched, right? And be familiar with all aspects of it. And yes, there are AI tools right across it. So, yes.
You know, one thing which I can think about is when I was saying pain areas, as most of the youth will resonate with me. They think there is most of the pain areas, some or the other company has already thought over it. They have tried and they have failed. So like so they are scared of venturing there. And which it's not just about data points, as you have said. There is so much more to it than just this. For example, I'll tell you a simple thing like Bangalore traffic. Everyone knows that's a pain area. Everyone knows, but nobody is able to solution it. There are companies who have thought about that there will be areas marked for parking, and they'll have layered parking, and then they will pick the vehicle, say in case they want to go to Brigade Road, there is no parking available. There is an area which they will hire. They will go there, pick it, use that particular person's car, park it there for a certain period of time and bring it back. But that didn't go through. The 2-3 companies which attempted. So there are so many, there are impediments which come on the way. It is not as easy like pain areas. We can see it. Of course, data points, which you said AI only will give you data things. I am asking is for a youngster who's listening to it, tell him a simple solution that how are you going to solution a pain point. That is what a person who doesn't have the wherewithal, but he has his mind very fertile. He knows that this is the pain area, I want to target this. How will you go about it?
That's really a very interesting question. So let me try and answer it. So you are talking about solving Bangalore's traffic problem. There are companies which are already onto it.
Correct.
There is a company called Waymo. It's basically a Google's company.
Google company,
right?
Yeah.
They are already solutioning it. Tesla is a company which is already working in this particular field, right? And if you think that Tesla is just a car company, no, it isn't. It is much more than that, right? So when you are talking about solutioning Bangalore's traffic problem, there are so many aspects of it. Say, for example, if you knew the data of all the people in Bangalore, what is their travel plan for tomorrow.
Okay.
All the data, which is pretty difficult. We do not have it, right? If you have it, it is very easy. For example, there are 10 people who have to use a particular road, right? And you know the time and the schedule of all people. You can basically schedule their travel through that particular road in a particular time and give some kind of recommendations that, you go at so and so time to so and so place and things of that sort. If you are talking of a city ecosystem, there are many attempts which have taken place, and there are many companies which are in this particular field. So you are talking about data points, you are talking about infrastructure, you are talking about the signaling systems like the traffic signaling system. All these things have to come in to actually give you a kind of a solution, right? And of course the data points. So one is the data point and one is the extrapolation which takes place. Like you say that 5 things have behaved this particular way, so the 6th thing is most likely to behave that way. That is the way the algorithms generally work. But always it doesn't happen like that, right? So there is some level of error which happens, right? So Google Maps or something else, that is a way that can help you, but it is not a complete traffic solution.
Correct.
And there are companies which are onto it. If you are talking about a student who comes in with an idea and wants to give a solution for a traffic problem, beyond what I have told you, traffic signaling things of these kind of things, there are other aspects that you can talk about. Say you are talking about a traffic solution which is based on a quadcopter, where you're using the aerial route to actually give you a solution. That is a different dimension altogether.
Yeah.
Right. There is Elon Musk is talking about a capsule which is traveling fast from New York right across the ocean into Europe and other areas. That is another kind of a solution. You are talking in a different dimension altogether. That is an area where you can actually give ideas, right? But again, ideas are different, and the implementation aspect of it, and the logistics and the cost, and a business idea, there can be 100 ideas, you see, but a business idea is that idea which is actually implementable and profit can be generated out of it. It should be viable.
Correct. Right. So what I understand from your answer is, see, you cannot give a solution. There are a lot of problems. They have to rack their brains and find a solution. But through your what you are trying to tell is that people should be AI aware.
Yes.
This is that whenever you have a problem and you want to solution it, at least in this age and time, AI will come in. It will kick in.
Yes.
And that is why you require to be equipped with this knowledge. This is why it is important that whatever they can think of, like people, like they ask, and in fact, most of the youngsters are concerned that with this AI invasion, what are the jobs which will remain? So what I feel, according to me, I feel there are things which are dependent on AI that will forever remain.
Artificial intelligence, right? $800 billion. Now this is when you are talking about a country like the United States, right? What about a country like India? What is the amount which is allocated for artificial intelligence? Now, when you are talking of $800 billion, $800 billion, some of it would go into developing those data centers. Some will go for chips, right? Then, of course, powering this entire, as you correctly said, that powering this entire ecosystem, you require power. So you are talking about nuclear modules which are made specifically for a particular requirement. So you have basically a nuclear power plant which can be scalable or which can be customized for a particular requirement. There are power companies which are in that particular direction, and their stock prices have seen a big increase. But if you are talking about the Indian market, See, the fact of the matter is that there have been some very honest efforts which have gone into, for example, Tatas are investing into making of chips. There is initiative which is there in the direction of chip design, but these are pretty nascent steps. If you are talking about the worldwide ecosystem, wherein you have players like ASML, TSMC, NVIDIA, or say Broadcom, then you have basically companies which are on top of it, say a Google, a Amazon, a Microsoft, and other kind of things. They have so much amount of cash which they can actually deploy in this particular area, right? So there is already an entry barrier, and they are pretty ahead as far as that particular area is concerned. If you are talking of India, in India, we are basically consumers of it.
Correct.
Right? We have not gone into the area where we actually, where the margins are, right? So you actually need to invest. You need to research. Then you need to take out a product into the market. Look at OpenAI. It is valued at somewhere like $750 billion, not yet made profit. But you see, people understand the potential of that technology. You have a ChatGPT, which is already out in the market.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So the Chinese have a DeepSeek.
Correct.
Right? So if you are talking of this particular field, it is basically United States and China which is there. Right? The other countries are just playing catch up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we have to accept that. We have to accept that particular reality. Although investment can pour in and you can start, but there is the majority of the areas would have already been taken. And as a few people and experts, like you have the godfather of AI speaking and talking. See, we are going in an area where these companies they are racing ahead with their research, with their bright engineers, with their coding ecosystem, their data points and things of that sort, so that every aspect of human commercial activity is digitized and they make a viable product around it.
Correct.
Which generates revenue, right? So those areas like you are talking about, power and other areas, is not valid in our context. Yes, of course, power is required in India because there is a population, there is a consumption and things of that sort, but not in the sense that it is required in the US market, right? So if you talk of these kind of things, well, I think China is the country which has, or it is the best poised to make use of it. And of course, everyone is saying that. Jensen Wong goes around saying that, China is just a step behind. But I don't think China is a step behind. It is at par or even better than the United States.
Okay.
So that thing may not be valid for India.
So now that we have discussed that the opportunities will be less. We both agree on that with the AI invasion, opportunities will be less. That means there will be very large number of people chasing very few vacancies.
Yes, that's
everywhere.
True. That's
so
true.
Now those who do not get it, how are they going to be employed? What are they supposed to do?
Yes, that's a very challenging thing. These are questions which very big experts have not been able to answer. When I was in IIM Ahmedabad, I remember attending a meeting where, a conference rather, where the director said that we are heading towards unsustainability. Right? So when you have something which is working 24/7, doesn't require any hospital or doesn't require any rest, how can you actually compete with it? You cannot actually compete, right? So we have to talk about a mechanism known as a regulatory mechanism, or some kind of a universal payment system, where governments actually gravitate in the direction of giving you some kind of, I wouldn't say it as a dole, maybe some kind of a pension or some kind of a universal guarantee in terms of some kind of payment.
Well, that is far-fetched. Already the government is trying to reduce the pension bill. So I don't think that is at least possible in India in the near future.
No.
It
India,
is not, and
of
with the
course.
huge, humongous population we have, we cannot feed without anyone bringing in that kind of money.
Yeah, yeah.
So so
You're
that
right.
is not possible. So anyway, but now that is a scene which is probably going to happen in, I won't say near future, maybe a decade or a decade and a half later. But at least now you bridge that gap. That is what you are trying
To
to
some
do.
extent,
To
because
some-
this is just a intervening period,
Yeah.
where next 5-10 years maybe even the coders may go out of jobs.
Correct. Coders, they say, is already redundant.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
It is not required because
Yeah.
all this generative AI are best coders.
Yes.
So in that case, what is important, at least for some time, you are trying to urge the students, hey, learn AI. This is at least for some time. And from there you can scale up. Because once you learn that, you will get very many ideas, and then you can branch out, whichever you think is required and however you think is, whatever you think is relevant.
Yeah.
So in case somebody wants to take guidance from you, Agnel, where can they reach you? Where is that you'll be available or approachable to handhold them?
Oh, okay, Julie. So I'm based out of Tripunitara,
Okay.
near Hill Palace Museum. I have a QR code where people can actually scan and fill up a form and get in touch with me.
Okay.
I will give you that thing. I request you if you could give it to your subscribers. They can reach out to me. And what apart from what you spoke about and other kind of things that you said, the gist of the entire message is that you have to be smart and you have to be a hardworking, enterprising person. Most of the time, most of the children in today's age, they are addicted to cheap entertainment. That is the easiest way that you can destroy an entire generation. So you have to go in that particular. You have to go into the direction of exploring new things and things of that sort. Where I can help you actually is to give you a direction. Depending on what is the kind of skill set that you have, what is your pluses, what is, say you are a person who's very good with, or say the officer-like qualities, I would say that perhaps you could go for the army. But if you are, say, very good with quants and English, perhaps you should go for a good MBA or kind of a career which is focused in that particular way. Or if you are a person who is very creative, I could perhaps give you a particular direction for that. At the same time, I will give you a caveat with your particular career. Like, look, this is where your career is going to face shortage or problems, and this is perhaps the longevity of it.
Okay.
So that is where I
You
perhaps
come in. Okay.
can guide them.
Okay.
And where these colleges in Kerala, I want to possibly guide them is that, not all areas are addressed. Like, for example, especially I talk about the defense services. That is a particular area where they can actually come in and, focus in that particular direction.
Okay. Thank you, Agnel. Thank you so much. It was wonderful chatting with you. I hope through this media, the people who are watching us reach out to you and you are able to guide them and direct them to the right place.
Thank you, Julie.
so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful being on your show, on your podcast. Thank you for having me.